Hello, everybody. This is Keith Jones, the creator of the six-figure real estate wholesaling coaching program. We teach financial freedom and economic independence through wholesaling real estate. I'm a real estate entrepreneur in the metropolitan area of Atlanta, Georgia since 1997. I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I only throw that in to say, please join us every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. where we are doing Facebook Live Q&As on how to find motivated sellers, and I'm using Detroit, Michigan as a subject or as a test, as a study case. Detroit has this reputation, which sure a lot of you are familiar with. I go home, every year and see what's going on. But the key to a city like Detroit is here's tip number 2. I gave a tip yesterday, which was yesterday's tip was look for properties in the better school districts. As a wholesaler, as a fix and flipper, as a buy and holder, you want to be in areas where the better school districts are if you want to sell your contracts the fastest. Yesterday's tip was or is still the same. Look for deals in the better school district areas. If you want to sell them fast, you want to get those properties under contract fast, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. That's what this is all about. I'm going to be going over neighborhoods like Dearborn, Hamtramck, Melvindale, Ferndale, Romulus, River Rouge, Oak Park, Allen Park, Hazel Park, and numerous others. I want you guys to get out of the hood, if you will, and go find some deals. Now, I know and I understand that because the situation in Detroit, you'll find more deals there. I understand that, but you're not going to sell them as fast because, believe it or not, that's why there's more deals there. Not as many people are interested in the inner city. You have to understand the tricks and the trades of a wholesaler. For someone who wants to have success, you want to get rid of those properties fast. You can get properties under contract all over Detroit for probably $10, maybe even $2,000. But will you sell them fast enough? I'm going to help you, point you in the direction. All Detroiters, come hang out with us. Now, these tricks of the trade, these strategies that I'm sharing with Detroiters, this works for everybody all over the country. I'm only using Detroit as a study case because it is one of the harder areas to do deals because most people are focusing on inner city Detroit. We got a lot of vacant and abandoned properties, and they're thinking, okay, yeah, we can kill it. And you're getting these properties, potentially you're getting them under contract, and no one's interested in buying them. Let's get away from that. So today's tip number 2, stay away from the war zones. Get out of the war zones. The war zones are the areas where, the houses are predominantly dilapidated, and the dope boys are doing their things, and the winos are doing their things, and too much negative stuff is going on. Stay away from those neighborhoods if you want to make some money in this business. Focus on areas with the better school districts. Stay out of the war zones. And I'll have a new tip for you tomorrow. I'm going to have tips for you every day. But tip number 1, find the better school districts. And there are deals in every area. There are deals in the worst neighborhoods, and there's deals in the best neighborhoods. Believe me, here in Metro Atlanta, I started doing deals like right outside. When I first moved here in 1991, the city of Atlanta, the inner city of Atlanta was kind of a war zone, and it still has some pockets, issues and so on. But the city of Atlanta is nowhere as big as the city of Detroit. And I'm talking the inner city. Inner city of Detroit is much bigger than the inner city of Atlanta. But most of the investors were interested in everything that was on the outskirts of the city of Atlanta. It was Decatur. It was Stone Mountain. It was East Point was where I got my first wholesale deal. On and on and on. And, I won't go through a bunch of that because if you're not from Metro Atlanta, you probably, just going over your head. And if you're not from Detroit, the cities that I named there are going over your head. But again, we're going to be using Detroit as a case study. And if I can show you how to find good deals around the outskirts of Detroit, you can find good deals around the outskirts of whatever city that you're in the United States. I want to guide you to areas where the properties, where you'll sell your contracts. Again, remember, as a wholesaler, you're selling your contract. You're not selling the property. You're selling your option to buy that property. So with that being said, you will be selling a lot faster your option to buy that property if you're in an area with a good school district and you're away from the war zones. Those are the two tips. One tip was yesterday for the school districts. Today's tip is stay out of the war zones. You're going to find deals you can find deals in every neighborhood and every price range. But let's go for the ones that you can sell the fastest and cash the checks the quickest. Don't waste your time. And you drive through a neighborhood you've never been through, and then you notice oh man, there's 20 houses here vacant. Let me write down the addresses of all of them. Why do you think those freaking 20 houses are vacant? You want to deal with the areas you want the worst house in a good neighborhood. That's what sells. The worst house in a good neighborhood, not the worst houses in a bad neighborhood. Unless you run across an investor who has very deep pockets and willing to buy the whole block, you just wasted some time. I want to help you cash checks first. Let's cash checks first and then strategize how to work into the city. In fact,